We are live.
We're live.
We are live, John.
Welcome to the Breakdown with John Shane.
Pat Bianco.
Hey, and we don't have the coach yet because he's out trying to make our team better.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
So, we had a game.
We had a
game. We're going to break down the game when the coach gets here. Before the coach gets here, we're going to talk about the other games. And you were at the watch party. Well,
no, I didn't make it to the watch party. I didn't get off of work until late.
The watch party was awesome.
I heard the one at Hartman Kelp was off the hook. I heard they was just jamming there.
And we had them at 6 different places.
Six different locations.
Where do we have them at?
All 3 Froggers locations. Okay, you got one in Apopka. I know the one in Apopka. 2 other ones. Forgive me. Go to our website there on Instagram, Predators NAL, and you can have a list of all the Froggers that are on there. Plus, you got the Hartman Kilt, which is downtown. You got Fish on Fire again is doing the watch party, and Boegans in Castleberry.
They're the Pred beer.
Exactly right. They got the Pred beer down there.
John even has a picture of it. He can show. There you go. It's down there a little bit. You can't see, but you can see it. There you go. What's that?
Jumping to theme night.
Oh, we got all the stuff going on. Hey, I seen that. I was watching Fox News or Channel 2 something, and they were doing it. But you got the Fisher Craft Beer, Orlando Predators at Boegans.
Yeah, and that's. I heard this year.
Look at that. There you go.
There it is.
Wrong button. You know, hey, here's what I can say. All the news stations have 50 people doing it. We have 1.
We got 1 guy. His name is IT John.
Yep. He's doing a lot of stuff.
He's doing it.
Predator Pills is back. They had a little thing going on, and actually, the people liked the beer. They said it's better this year.
Yeah.
It's definitely got a better taste and everything. So
we got a 2 thumbs up from somebody out here.
Yep.
Got a 2 thumbs up.
I'm looking through the lights shining us, but I did see thumbs up.
I saw a thumbs up down there somewhere. But something I want to bring up, because a lot of people have been asking me too about season tickets.
Well,
I haven't got my season ticket yet. I'm a season ticket holder too. I haven't gotten them yet. Good news. Starting tomorrow, you're going to start receiving them in the email, okay? Tomorrow, if you're a season ticket holder, you've already paid for your tickets, be on the lookout in the email. They're coming tomorrow, okay? Starting tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow or the next day, because we've got a lot of fans, that are coming back.
And I want mine too, you know what I mean? I want them.
Absolutely. Oh, text messages. It's going to be text messages. That's even better. So, because everybody, I don't look at emails too much, but a text message comes across, I'm looking.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing right there for all you Pred fans. Also, there's been some questions about how do I get single game tickets, because I can't go to all the games, but I can go to some of them starting tomorrow as well. I'm going to give you a number too. If you got a pen and a paper at home, write this down. It's 407-776-4718. And I'm going to say it again. That's 407-776-4718.
And that's how you get our tickets. And to let everybody know all the time, we have to send, there's a process that we have to send out the season tickets before the regular tickets. It's something in the system. And being that somebody retired from the Amway and blah, 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 we're here where we're at. But we're taking care of it tomorrow. They'll all go out, and we're good. And by the way, the most important thing is we won our first game.
That's right. Big W, man.
San Antonio, right here. So they gave me their ball to put up here, show you about it, and talk about it.
You want to talk about that?
Speaking of the ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, you want to talk about the ball?
The league, it's called the Deuce. Check it out. It's called the Deuce. But guess what? I think nobody's going to make a deuce.
It's not kicker friendly. Is that what you're saying?
It's not kicker friendly. And we ordered the balls. We're trying to make them nicer, actually making it a little cooler than the old ball. Okay, but let's show you this. One looks bigger than the other, and it is. It's a taller ball. It's a taller ball. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's taller. And it's made of a different composite. So that became a problem in the game especially when we started kicking every ball out of the
Out of the
get it out.
out of the sidelines.
Yeah, because we're not going to kick it.
Yeah. Was that a stage thing that coach was doing?
Yeah, we purposely did it, and we'll let every team know as long as we use that ball, we're kicking it out of bounds. So bring a lot of balls to the game that we, right?
I know where my seats are going to be. Sidelines right there by the end zone, buddy.
Yeah, because and it's not a secret, we don't. But you'll see. In this league, a deuce is a big thing that our fans enjoy throughout the league. Okay?
Absolutely.
And also, if he doesn't make the deuce, normally he's just missing because they're not this like they're
smaller.
like that.
Right, exactly.
Very
They're not 9 feet across.
Yeah,
like
they're
NFL
not like an NFL that's like that. You get what I mean? They're like this. So really cool. John's bringing up a video. Go ahead, show it, John. Run it. Or is it a picture? God. So there you go. He's kicking off, and that's not good in our league. That we have no choice. You're not getting close. Normally they kick it out of the back of the end zone in our league, trying to get the name of the ball, deuce, that we named it, the deuce. It's a big part of it.
Yeah.
It's a big part of arena football. And it was a problem throughout the league. We didn't know that when the game started.
Right.
You follow me? Because we have the old balls, and we're allowed to use them for the league until we run out of the old ones, and then we start using the new ones. Well, that's the first time we kicked this new ball, assuming it was supposed to be the same, but just white. Well,
but it's not.
They're not.
No.
So that,
the question there, I may have misunderstood you. Now, when we play our home game, because we'll be using.
Oh yeah, we're going to be using that ball right there.
Gotcha.
Yes.
But now other teams, when we play away games again, if they don't have these balls, we'll be using the deuce.
And I'll be honest, we talked to the commissioner. We're working that out to say maybe we have a kicking ball if there's a problem throughout the league. But you see, because when I go over some stats of the other games, and we'll talk about them, when you have somebody getting 100, you got a team right here. So Columbus, right? They had 228 yards passing, but over 150 yards in return. Why? Because the ball stayed in play, and he can't get it out. It's because of this. Hey, but we wanted to get a new, really cool ball.
Yeah.
And no one knew.
It's a sharp-looking ball. I like it. It's a good-looking ball.
Catching it's great. They, no problem throwing it. They had no problem. It's just a different height and something with the material of the bounce. It's not friendly to the kickers. So we're going to work on that league-wide. So that'll be coming up. But we have our own balls, and we're going to be playing with that come their first home game.
Awesome. That's good news
Done
right
deal.
there. That's good news until they figured the deuce. But
and to be honest, we've talked, maybe we all play with this one and kick that one. You don't have a kicking ball.
Yeah.
Because that's fine. It looks really cool on the field, and they're throwing, catching it. It's no problem with any of that.
It was just the kicking game.
If it's just a kicking, then you can have a kicking ball. You know what I mean? So we're working on that league-wise. I feel bad for our kicker. Our kicker was stressing out.
I can
He's
imagine.
like, I don't know what's going on. And so at halftime, we brought him out there early. And we let him kick this twice and our ball twice. And at 1 out of 2, he got a deuce.
Yeah.
And this one, he doesn't even get close to getting to the 10-yard line. So, yes, we are going to work on that.
I got a question out there already.
Yeah.
Milton Magic Satan wants to know, what's the condition of Darius Tolbert? He got injured during the game. How's Darius doing?
He got bruised up a little bit, he's doing good. I don't want to come out and say 100%. He may miss this game, may not. He will definitely be at our home opener.
Okay.
Iffy for this game. We're going to find out, see how it goes. But he'll definitely be ready for our home game.
Gotcha. That's good to know. That's good.
That's
I said after the game, I like to watch after the game, and the camaraderie,
Camaraderie,
yeah,
yeah.
that one between the San Antonio and Orlando after the game on the field, sitting down for a prayer. That was all good. But I seen Darius walking around, so that made me feel
Yeah,
good. I texted
yeah.
him right away then, because I'm good friends with him, and I texted him, "Hey, baby, you all right?" But I never got a response back. But a lot of things going on with him, so
we had a lot of things.
Yeah.
San Antonio, the hosts for the other team, they were phenomenal, bringing us out, after the game, having, barbecue, what was it, chicken and sausage. It was really good the way they did it, and they're trying to bring it in. Now, I know people watched the game, didn't see a ton of people in the stand, but they were up against one. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they shut down. That's very military there with all the Air Force bases.
Right.
There were tons of Air Force bases. Well, they shut down. They had an air show, which we brought our players to on Sunday. At 1 o'clock on Saturday, they shut it down because it was at capacity. Well, I'm talking tens of thousands,
I saw.
tens of thousands of thousands. It was insane how many people there. Well, those people weren't going to a game that night because they were tired from walking. It's massive, and so we had a great time. And they had the Strawberry Festival, which is major out there.
Right.
So that happened to fall on the same day of their opener. So, they're working on that. They're happy, for what they got for what was going on.
Good. Now, I've seen a lot of, if you folks out there aren't friends on the Orlando Predator page, friend them, because you guys had a lot of videos and a lot of pictures you guys put out there of you guys at the airfield with the players. Did you guys, there was someplace else you went.
We went down, it's called Riverwalk out there, which to me was one of the most beautiful. I've never been at Riverwalk. I don't know, did we put the Alamo out there? We were at the Alamo.
You were at the Alamo.
Yeah, we were at the Alamo. But Riverwalk is a pretty amazing place. It's got a small river in between where they built all these bridges over, and there's just restaurants, and it's packed solid. Every restaurant, and it was a blast to walk along. And it's funny because people drink it, and there's no railings. I was like laughing. I was like, come on, how many people end up in there that can't get out? And then they have all these boats that people sit on, and its back probably holds like 100 boats on one little boat, and it goes down, and then the next one comes. Yeah, it was pretty cool. So the guys had a great time out there, and we did things that we wouldn't get to do.
Absolutely.
But we're playing football. We win a game, and it was that was fun.
Yeah. Brian Wright, our equipment manager, goes, "Remember the Alamo."
Oh yeah. So hey, so one of my brothers said, hey, when you're out there, go to the Riverwalk and go to the Alamo, because you'll be amazed how small the Alamo is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That was a big part of history.
Yeah, history. When I watched, but I do want to tell you, did you get that picture out there with me next to David Crockett? I don't know if you got that one, John, but I stood next to I was like, this is one big guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it was life size, it was huge.
It's like standing next to some of the players.
His thing was that big. His sword.
That's great.
So we had a blast. Players had a good time. It was a good weekend.
That's good. We had some standout players that, just really impressed me again this year as far as watching our DBs. All three of our DBs were just amazing. Brandon Fuentes.
And it was like one or two plays, and then all of a sudden they get better
and better
and better. It's pretty hard to drive on them.
Oh yeah,
you better
exactly.
Score quick.
if you don't, they know what you're doing the next play. That's we got some really good DBs in there. Good QBs. Both of our QBs that played. Man, I was impressed with both of them.
Yeah, we wanted to being that the score was at halftime.
Yeah.
And we wanted to mess around a little bit, which we'll bring up during when the coach gets here and talk a little bit about that. But, you know, we have somebody go down. We need the next guy. You know what I mean?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
And this isn't the NFL. These guys get hit pretty good.
Exactly.
They get hit into the walls. They get hit over the walls. So it's a good thing.
Those hits. A lot, yeah, without a doubt. Yep, a lot of teams do use 2 quarterbacks. Yeah. Like you're saying, these guys get hit. If you watch the game this Saturday night and you heard somebody hit the wall and it's a big boom, there's no microphones in those walls. They're hitting them hard. That's a boom
and
right
then he
there.
got over and came up with the ball.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The ref looking, came back up.
That was Randall, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I believe that was Randall, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I was a little tired there.
There was. Speaking of tired, what time did you get home this morning?
Yeah, well, it was late. I got home at 3:30 this morning, and yeah, I had to go to work, and so I'm a little tired today. I was tired at the game. Something else went on, but it's good. We had a football game. We won the football game.
Okay.
It was good. So let's go to the Lions Shark game. That went into overtime. Correct?
It did. Yeah, that one went into overtime.
That was 56. The Lions won 56-49. First of all, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you to guess. In passing yards, now Columbus won.
Okay.
Okay. They won 56-49. How many yards, guess, would you think they had passing in the Arena League?
Columbus?
Yeah.
430.
128.
That's it?
Yeah. So I was like, what? So 128 yards passing for 3 touchdowns, okay? But you take 150 yards in the returns from Mr. Ducey here, not being whatever it is that we're not being able to kick it. You follow me? That was amazing. I'm looking at the stats and I go, it can't be 128 yards and you won in overtime, had 56 points.
That's crazy.
Well, the returns to get you down to the 10-yard line, 20-yard line, that's how they won the game.
Yeah. Wow. That's something. That's
So
just goes to show you, we played it right by kicking it out of bounds.
kicking it, the coach made a great call, which I wasn't, and I'll be honest with you. Here you go. Let's see the first play. Check it out. Yep. Interception. Yep. Face mask, and now you got a penalty. But the overtime was a major issue and to win the game. But if a team that scores 56 in the NAL, and then you talk about it, and they only had 128 yards passing, I would have lost a major bet on that one.
Right. Oh, me too. There's another question right there. There's a question came in. Is Walls related to Herky? And then we got an answer there from Nick Green, who's watching. Nick, big fan, said he's not there.
Absolutely.
Nick, that's Herky's son. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
And I just got chills because you asked the question because, when he tried out, we're like, oh, bad. That, I could have feel bad. He don't make the team, blah, blah, blah. And then coach calls up and goes, he's a player. He's possibly going to make the team. And he makes the team. And you saw him out there.
Got big shoes to fill.
Yeah.
You got big shoes to fill.
But he did a wonderful job. We were pretty impressed. And yes, it is Herky Wall's son.
And he's wearing his daddy's number too, 22.
And who gave him 22? Who was 22 last year? Was it
that was it. Brandon Fuentes was number 22 last season. Yes, sir.
Fuentes said, you know what? Your dad and everything's been, with the Predators and everything. I'm going to give you the number. And it was up to him because it was his number now.
That doesn't surprise me a bit.
No, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Fufu's
a good person.
Great person. You know what I mean? And he gave it up to him. He said, you know what? You know, I'll give you your dad's number.
That's stand-up guy.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, he didn't have to. He didn't have to, like you said. Didn't have to.
It was his number. He was here last year, but he was great and did the right thing. Some stats. Number one, I'm not good at pronouncing a bunch of names, but we got right here his last name right there.
Jason, is that Fonten?
Yeah, I don't know.
Forston, Jason.
But you know, he scored once at 68 yards. They didn't only have 128 yards, and saying they won the game. I wouldn't have believed it. I would have lost a ton of money on a bet on that.
Without a doubt,
I mean?
yeah.
But he did. Now we go to the Jacksonville Sharks, who they played. They had 226 yards passing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is getting closer. Okay, but they had a player, Wilson, who had 117 yards, 3 touchdowns.
That's their superstar.
That's getting up to our type of thing.
He's a veteran from many seasons.
Return yards, 70 yards.
Yep.
You know, that's not good.
No.
So the return yards was a problem again in that game right there for those 2 teams.
Yeah.
Then the next game was what? Carolina. We had Carolina.
At the reigning champion, Albany Empire.
And Carolina won 59-51. 59-51. And their quarterback passed for 235 yards. He had in the game he had 3 interceptions. Carolina, who won the game with 3 interceptions.
3, yeah.
You know, but you had my buddy DJ had 104 yards. Remember DJ Myers?
DJ Myers, yes sir.
Big, Orlando Predator player that, here we liked him. We liked DJ. He's a great person.
He is a good guy.
He's a good
definitely,
guy.
definitely.
He had a touchdown. And then this Kendrick, number 17 for them, had 3 touchdowns. But Myers had the most yards receiving on the team. So you got to play.
And Ings is in motion.
You got somebody.
Looking
That's
for
DJ.
Ings again.
Is that his first touchdown?
No,
that's not
DJ.
DJ.
The catch.
No, yeah.
Touchdown from
that was Higgins.
Bain
He's the one who had the 3
Magruder
touchdowns.
was in coverage and gave him a pretty hard hit.
And look,
Stevens
there's
was
DJ
the
right there
specialist.
over the top.
Either way, that ball is tipped and
Check this out.
intercepted.
Look at this play.
Still on his feet. And going
That's football right there.
I want to tell you,
into the end zone for a touchdown is Trey Von Long.
And all the teams won by 7 points or 8.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It was all by a touchdown. We'll go to Albany, who was the reigning champs. They had 251 yards passing.
And they got a new quarterback this year because last year's quarterback, Tommy Grady's not there.
Mike.
Mike, yeah. He used to play, he played for Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken. Jacksonville or Carolina last year. I can't remember.
6 touchdown passes, but guess what? They lost.
Yeah, I
They
know.
lost.
You could throw 6 touchdowns in a game in arena football and still lose.
Yep, Prince had 3 touchdowns. And then, who is it, Grant?
You got Grant?
Yeah, he had 3 touchdowns. He threw 6 touchdown passes. It was pretty impressive. He had a 700% completion rate, which was pretty good.
Which is, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. You do that in the NFL.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah,
he's a good
quarterback.
He's going to give us some problems, but I think our DBs are definitely going to, be up for the challenge with them.
But let's talk about the return stats again.
Tell us about the return stats on this.
Look at that. You got 50, 28, 27. Not good.
No.
Not in an arena league. It's got to be out of bounds. It's normally 0.
Exactly.
Normally 0.
Yep, and not many at all.
You take all that and add it together, you have a lot of things. Our coach came up with a great thing, which we'll question him about, even though I was a little upset because, me, I don't like, and I told Nate, he's like, at our games I'm up away.
Oh, yeah.
if I'm down, I'm going to start coaching. You know, being a coach for 28 years, it just starts. You know what I mean? And we'll talk to the coach about that.
But it turns out it was a good thing.
No, it's a great thing.
It was a good thing. Yeah.
And all the other teams, and I feel bad. Like, I want to tell you something. We're not, you know, we can't kick every ball out of bounds because they get to keep it.
Right. Exactly.
what I mean?
You lose a lot.
A lot. I mean, we order so many for the season, which is a lot.
Yeah. And
we order 100, but you can't, every time each team kicks off and you kick it out of bounds, we score a lot of points in Arena League. You know what I mean? Just that alone, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of football.
Yeah, and if a pass goes out of bounds,
they get to keep.
Fans keep the ball.
Yep. And it's a good thing, but yeah, the kicking, we're gonna have to straighten out.
Yeah.
It'll get ugly.
Yeah. Fans are going like, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? They didn't know, so now they know. Now they know. Now they know.
Intentionally, we're kicking it out.
Yeah, because I was going like, what in the world is going on?
We need a kicker.
Yeah,
I think that's what you said.
I did. I said, so the teams were starting an onside kick because they couldn't get the deuce, and you didn't want to. Yeah.
So that was pretty crazy. What else? What
were some of the other things? I know I got some. So let's see. I'll just say who's watching. Who is watching in here tonight?
Who you got watching?
We got Jason Lucas is watching. Nick Green is watching. Jamie Morris is in the house and she's watching. Milton Magic Man, he is watching as well. Brittany Manick is watching. If you guys don't know it, Brittany is the better half of IT John. Darren Clark Jr. is watching. Brian Wright is watching. Nick Jakowski is watching tonight. Mary LoBianco is watching.
Hi, Mary. Happy birthday yesterday. I was a little tired to call you.
Yesterday was, and
because if I would have texted you at 3:30 in the morning, you would have been mad.
She was up. Actually, she was up. Carla from Conway Optical, one of our sponsors, is watching. Tom Traver, longtime Pred head, is watching tonight as well. Listen, if you guys got any questions about the game or about upcoming games or events, man, text them in here, and I will be more than happy to ask John and ask Coach Higgs when he gets here. So bring him in.
John, can you run a commercial? You got the Washington, what's it called? Western Atlantic Medical School of Medicine. Run it.
Mary says thank you.
John's going to run some clips of some things, and then we'll talk about them.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Hector Garcia does say, hey, John, thank you for everything. Hector Garcia says that. So.
Thank you. Glad again. He's a good man. Good man, Hector.
All
Go ahead. You're going to run a clip. Just pick a clip. Yeah, go ahead.
I got to run some of our kickoffs.
Yeah, we're going to run some of our kickoffs. Show them, and you'll see. Yeah, like, so normally we're putting this in the end zone every time. You know, when we say end zone, we don't mean where they're going to catch it. You know what I mean? We're talking behind the wall. Behind the wall. So that's the ball thing, which I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We're going to figure that out, but I'm glad it wasn't just us.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Wide, and yeah, it'll be corrected.
That's good.
Oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy?
I think we just had
Come
Coach
on
Higgs.
in there,
I think
Coach.
we just
Yeah,
had
we're
Coach
coming on
Higgs
right
come in
now.
the house.
We're pretty much good. We went over all the other teams.
What's up, man?
What's up, buddy?
What's
Good
going
to
on?
see you.
What's
Come
going
on
on? Good
in.
to see you.
Jump in.
Congratulations, bro. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't brush my hair. It's okay. Got
Yeah,
an hour and a
you're
half
good.
sleep. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. You got home a little late yesterday. How you been, Coach?
I've been good, man.
All right, your first win as an Orlando Predator
It
head
is.
coach.
Yes, sir.
That was pretty awesome.
It was a fun game. It's a fun game. You
It was,
guys
it was
like
a fun
You guys
game to
enjoy it?
watch. It was a fun game to watch. It really was.
At times it was a little intense and troubling, but you know that's how arena football goes.
Yeah.
So we talked about the ball. We don't have to talk about the ball anymore.
Okay.
And I had a little discussion about you made the right call to kick everyone out of bounds. I mean, because we went over stats, and I don't know if you got to see the stats from the other teams, but if we go over, you're talking returns, 158 yards in return. You're talking 110 yards in return. Normally, there's not that many return yards in arena football because it goes out of the end, back of the end zone, and brought to the 20. But and your call was simple.
Well, it is. I mean, it goes back to basically taking the data of all the years that I played as a kick returner in the Ironman game. And you've got big guys running down, right? I mean, you've got linemen that are
Playing
playing
both
and
ways,
getting tired,
tired.
right? So once I saw that the ball wasn't going to travel as far, I just felt it was better for the ball club to not put it in the returner's hands and get those linemen to try to, make tackles they're not used to running. Of course, in the first game, I wished it would have worked that way on two other plays that we tried to kick it out of bounds, but they got their hands on it. But when you have obviously less than 100 yards returning, everybody else has, 150, 200.
Exactly.
That's good, but that
That's
stats,
not-
yeah,
yeah,
stats,
that's
winning
not
is the
us.
issue.
Yep.
Winning is what we want.
But the return yards of how the ball was kicked was the issue. And you made a real good call by saying, kick it out of bounds, and we'll give it to them at the 20, and let's do this.
That's the thing with arena football. You've got to see how the game is going and be able to adjust and manage the game.
Adapt
Our
to-
special teams coordinator did a great job. Kent Rickerson decided to kick the ball out of bounds. He did a wonderful job. We should have, there's a couple we should have got out. We tried. It hurt us on one, but, evidently it was the right decisions because we came away with a victory.
Yes. You got pretty good defensive backs. Okay, they can make some plays, don't you think?
I think so. I think we were talking about that a little bit ago. Yeah, absolutely.
We got some very good core guys. Obviously we had Desiree Johnson, who was inactive this week. He wasn't there, but we got Josh Jenkins.
Look
There
at
you
that.
go.
Woo!
Josh Jenkins
Look at
taking
that.
one to
Look
the
at
house.
that play right there.
We have
To the house.
Delvon
Just-
Randall, who also had a pick six called back on a crackback. But Delvon from Temple, and of course Josh, as you see him right here from Army. These are special players, and not to take Brian Foy or Brandon Fuentes, Desiree Johnson, who I mentioned was inactive, and Darren Clark. I mean, these guys are all defensive two-ways. I mean, that's what you need in the Ironman game, and they played really well.
Right
There's
there.
your second pick six, and here comes a crackback you can't do anymore, which we practiced. But anyway,
Yeah, it happened. It was called back because of that. But I was pretty happy about the block because I like the hitting in any. You know what I mean? To me, that guy's going to make a tackle right here, coming in, and it was not in the back. But
Correct.
I get it. We're trying not that.
player safety.
Yeah, we got to keep it
Let's put it this way.
semi.
I would much rather have an aggressive mistake than a passive one.
Yeah.
So,
Got a couple questions here. Magic says, Coach, how does it feel to get your first win?
I mean, to be honest, it feels great for the city. It feels great for the players and you guys and everybody else. But to me, it's just another football game. I'm used to winning. I'm used to winning. I expect to win. I respect everybody, so I take my hat off to San Antonio and what they've done in their first game. But I'm gonna go into every game trying to win. I mean,
Without a doubt,
what we
sure.
do. So when you have a good attitude and you practice to win, you can win more than that. So that's the name of the game.
Ready for another question?
Sure.
All right. What were you most proud of in your first game of the season, and what are your biggest opportunities?
Well, I'm most proud of, I think, the culture of the staff, the guys, just how their unity is, and how they just find a way, whether it's to get through a practice when you're tired or get through the game that you saw. But I'm really proud to say that I'm their leader, because honestly, you're only as good as everybody else around you. And obviously, those guys are darn good.
And they're bonding.
And I'm not here also to pat your back, John, but you and Nate and Casey and obviously the front office and everybody else. I mean, even you, Pat, we're a family.
Right.
So we have something special. Family members are accountable to each other. We hold each other accountable. Accountability is big for me. So I'm just proud to be a part of that. The second part of that question you asked was, what are my biggest opportunities?
Yeah, what are your biggest opportunities
This week.
after the first game? This week?
This week, the biggest opportunity is today, taking advantage of practice. Going to the next one, which is tomorrow. That's the only one that matters. And we'll take care of the little things, and the big things take care of themselves.
Sure.
So my biggest opportunity is to be able to coach this week in the NAL.
Yep. At Carolina, so that's going to be fun. Going away 2 weeks, so we're good.
Yeah, Snake Pit is no joke, but where is there a joke in this league? It's like like the old black and blue division, right? This is the black and blue league.
So you had 6 teams play each other, and no one beat anybody by more than 8.
I know, it was tough. It was tough games.
And it was good. We're ready for. I think we're going to be ready for the next year. We were making little adjustments here and there that you saw, which is great. Play the game. What do you think? What do you think the play of the game is? What would you say? What if you had to pick a play? You have one, or is it just overall? What is?
I'll say this: in any football game that's close, there's 5 football plays, 5, and if you obviously win or lose one of those plays, the game gets turned to the other direction, whether it's a win or a loss. So I take 5 plays, but the 2 standouts to me are both on defense. For us to decide, with the ball, and I go back to a series of plays. I'm sorry, can't come up with just one, but when we decided to not kick a field goal, we had a little bit of trouble. We saw with the procedures and the snap and the kick. I'm thinking to myself,
That was going to be my next question. Go ahead.
I think that decision ultimately to do that twice. Now there's no opportunity for any type of block, any bad snap. There's no return. And why don't you just go with where the strength of your football team and what your game is presenting on the field that night, which is the defense.
Right.
Let Josh and that defensive line and those linebackers do their thing, and they did it. So that's why this is such a great sport. It's a team game.
Awesome. You got another question?
Nope, not yet.
So it went in my head and out what I was going to ask.
You said you were going to ask about the field goal.
Let's see the play. Show us what you like, John. Oh, so let's go over the bad stuff now. There was a couple plays, like when you talk about blocking and stuff like that on special teams and the snap. There was a point, this is what I just remembered I was going to say and ask you. So, being that it's Iron, you can't take people out and put people in. So I'm standing talking to the kicker, and at the point when we were going in the score, there was not a player out there that was a holder on any at all.
Our receiver DBs are holders.
But, which you have like 3 of them that were holders.
Correct.
But when you were going in the score, he said, right now, there's not a holder out there because of the adjustments, I guess, whatever you did.
Well, he's a kicker. He
was
was out there. The receiver DB was out there playing, and he's the holder. So we have Fuentes, Brian Foy, Darren Clark. They're all holders.
Okay. But
So
I'm almost positive there was a point, because you said you had 3 of them. There was one series you were driving in that maybe you took them out late because they could go back in the next quarter?
I think I know the series you're referring to. It's when we had Lonnie Outlaw, Daryl Myers, and Larry Beavers. Larry Beavers is an 8, 9, 10-year vet, and he is actually a long snapper and a holder.
But
So
I'm just saying, so
couldn't
it's
use
all about, you know, the Iron Man. You got to think a lot of,
Right.
okay, of different things that got to happen because you can take them out, you can't put them back in. Of course.
And then looking at that too, and it's not asked, but a lot of people will say, well, why would you continue to kick it? Well, this is the first time that we're in the arena, right? So
Which
at
is
first,
crazy for the kicker, I wanna
correct,
be honest.
correct. So at first glance, you look at it and you're like, why would you continue? And I told our team that as the game were to get close, and to me, close is, 8 points, which didn't happen until the end of the game. Up until that, I wanted every opportunity for a practice run. Now, I'm willing to take that chance. On a kickoff, I'm not. So we made the adjustment or the decision to go ahead and try to kick those extra points. But I didn't want to do it on a field goal where it could result in 6 points. So there is a situation where the ball could be blocked, returned for 2 points on a field goal. But I took a calculated risk. It's not something that really happens. We still got extra snaps in, which both our long snappers, who are defensive specialists, Delvon Randall and actually Josh Jenkins, they got some extra reps in game, which was perfect. But if the game came down to later on where it was going to be an extra point, we're going for 2.
Yeah.
But then if I show the 2-point plays that we use, then now thinking about the next game. So
Yes.
there's things you're thinking about too that people don't take into
Ahead,
consideration.
yeah,
It worked out perfectly the way I liked it. But we got to get better, and that's the point.
So you had a drive where you put in this second quarterback. Looked pretty damn good too. Correct? Our backup
Yeah.
quarterback did good going down the field and driving it, throwing that nice long pass. We have that, John. We have that long touchdown pass by the second quarterback. I know. Oh, I'd have to look up my take book.
Connor Kagi, I have to look it up. Oh, that was Lonnie, number 9. It was Lonnie, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Connor's no, rookie. He was in Jacksonville at one point with the game. He knows the game. We had talked and explained. It was the first time we're going against an opponent. So philosophy, kind of like when you're trying to develop players, is up by a lot, down by a lot. I believe this is Rakeem Cato here. So it may have, that's Rakeem.
Yeah.
So we may have not Connor throwing a touchdown, but this again, Rakeem Cato, drop it back. He's from Marshall, number 12. There's Lonnie. But anyway, going back to the quarterbacks, I told them both that going into this game, they're both going to play. So the philosophy is when you're trying to develop, see what you have,
Sure.
up by a lot, down by a lot, both guys are going to play. Coming into the second half, now I could have designated coming out Connor as the specialist. But what I didn't want to do is send a message to San Antonio, the game's in the bag, and now we're putting another quarterback in, or make it like there was some type of other issue. I elected not to. Looking back at it, I believe it may have hurt me a little bit with the substitutions that you were aware of. But that's why in the fourth quarter, then I started Rakeem Cato. Started Connor as the specialist, and I waited for the time to be close to where he could finish the quarter, Rakeem Cato, and if not, he had to go to defense. So that's why you saw me losing a lot of the time at the end of the fourth, and it worked out perfectly. We managed the time almost to a T, and we came around the victory. That was a great play right there by Brandon Wentz.
Oh yeah, that was his
DB.
first receiving touchdown.
Yep, very good hitch route, good little move. He's got some good speed, he catches well, he's elusive. He's actually also a return man.
Yeah,
so
awesome right
you see
there.
some of the moves there you see with him. But so that was a situation both guys played. Looking at it, we know we got a really good quarterback in Connor if we need to play him.
Yeah.
And we know that Rakeem Cato, I feel like right now after what he played, he's got a high ceiling as Connor does. I like a little bit more of a mobile quarterback at this point for what we have on our line, but they're both very good. Connor's going to start this week, Rakeem is going to start this week, and Connor will be ready. But they're both very good quarterbacks.
One of my favorite things, John, you got to play over the wall, TD number 8 player down the list.
That was
somewhere.
Daryl Myers, number 8.
Okay, so
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
That was a good
I
catch.
love when they do it, and the fans love when they do it.
I'm glad you guys do. It makes me a little
Oh,
nervous.
A little
I know,
nervous.
I know.
Yeah.
But, you know, we didn't know if he caught it or not, you know, because he disappeared. And right here, he goes up, over, whoop. Check that thing out right there.
That's concrete. That's concrete on the other side of that wall.
Hey, and that's the other thing people don't understand. When they hit that bottom right here, he's on concrete right now, which is pretty awesome that they get up and they're back on the field.
Yeah, it was a really athletic play with great concentration, great body control and awareness. People that really understand this game, they know what a athletic, I guess, gift people are able to show and showcase for the fans.
Yeah.
To me, you know, I'm always like, I hope he gets up because, you know, the other side is concrete. And concrete wins every time. It doesn't lose.
Yeah, it
But
doesn't
that was an
give.
amazing play. He feels great. He's good. So
Now, let's talk about you. What? Oh, the chat.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So is this the center? Go ahead, run it. We'll see.
Yep, so you see us working it down here towards the end of the quarter. I mean, almost perfect. I want to see it one more time, but
Can you do it in slow motion, John?
we worked it down and see, I want to be really, really specific with this. So I see him catch the ball on his feet, and I see him starting to go like this to show, right? Show the ball. And the referee ruled that it wasn't. So what people don't know is I was told before the game that there's no replay. So hear me, there's no replay. But I have the challenge flag in. So I know there's no replay. I throw the challenge flag. So the white hat walks over to me. He says, I told you there's no replay.
So you look at
I
it
said,
right there.
so I understand
Stop
that,
this
sir.
game.
I said, sir, I understand that. I said, but you didn't tell me I couldn't challenge it. So I just want you to go ask and talk about it. And if you ask and talk about it and come back to me and tell me that it's not a touchdown, then I'm going to say, yes, sir, I'm going to halftime. So he laughed and he said, okay, we'll go talk about it. And then he came back and told me that he was bobbling the football, never had it. I said, okay, I disagree. We'll come back second half. I'll see you later.
Okay. So there was that one.
What can you do?
The snap, the offside, John? Do we
Yeah,
have
this
that?
was a little troubling. Replay or not, this was clear on game film, clear on the Jumbotron.
Well, and here's what I don't understand. So, me being there as an owner, if, like the other team, we got a little issue and we don't have the replay, we don't have the replay. But the Jumbotron's showing the replay.
Right.
If it's crystal clear, why can't they look up if there's a challenge flag? If there's a challenge flag, they look up and see him come across, hit the center, clearly offsides.
Yeah.
You know, we can use that as only on an occasion where something's wrong
Yeah.
and there's a challenge. Because you wouldn't challenge one or two again.
No,
You know what I mean?
I'll give you exactly when you're done
Go
asking
ahead.
your question. Well, here's how the rule works. So you're not allowed technically to use the Jumbotron. You have to have a separate mobile device on the sideline in control of a official. So we did have official down there, but they didn't have a laptop, an iPad, some type of device where they could look
Yeah,
at
we
it.
had a breakdown, but
So with that being said, I mean, there's two things that can happen right there. So people could say, well, you can't see whether he flinched. Well, if the center flinched,
that's
then it's a
offside.
false
Yeah,
start.
It's a false start.
So then
It's a
regardless,
penalty.
it's a penalty on us.
Not a touchdown.
Now, it was clear that you could see it wasn't. But anyway, with that being said, you can see also, you teach play to the whistle. So the whistle didn't blow. I see two of our football players, our quarterback and also our fullback, which clearly thought and knew that it was not,
But
they knew that it was a penalty.
always play to the whistle.
Blow to the whistle. So
I
that's
thought
what
I
I'd
heard
like
a
to
whistle though. On TV, I thought I heard a whistle, but
I don't know about the whistle. I didn't hear it, but
No.
I know this.
We didn't have a replay to hear
That
it again.
Right.
I mean, I look at some of these plays, and you know what? The game was close. Let's just say that.
And here's the thing now. One, officials who are refs, right, in high school, college, and popcorn, all the different levels of football, are doing it one way. When they come to our league, they're learning, so not everyone, there was one or two officials out there that never coached an NAL game.
Can I tell you something that you didn't find that I found on the film? So you know how the declaration, and you'll understand this as base football, because this is not different at any level. I went through the film, and there were 6 or 7 times where they had an illegal formation. So let me explain.
The shading and that type of
No,
not even,
I didn't catch this because I'm not coaching defensively. And actually, at one point, I don't know if you saw this, I went out on the field, and I was upset with our jack linebacker and our Mac because the guy that raises his hand as the tight end, and this is the position I played on defense, is in front of him is the jack. He's not allowed to blitz. Well, I saw my jack blitz. Then I went back to the film. What happened was both tight end, or the tight end and the guard lined up. So what happened was our guys were switched. So basically, if that happens and you're lined up in front of the guard, you can blitz.
okay.
So what happened was later on that made me to go through more of the plays all day long yesterday. So 6 or 7 times, the guard would raise his hand, which means he was covered up. So the 2 receivers were on the line of scrimmage on the tight end side. Now, just like base football, that means on the other side, he's not covered up. So when we pass the ball, that's now illegal formation. That happens 6 or 7 times. Listen, I'm not here to complain about officiating. We all make mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes. I'll get better. Hopefully they just look at that. I'm sure the league will look at that and just get guys, ready. But it wasn't really officials. I think it's, a brand new ball club. Guys playing 2 positions, Iron Man, and then you got subs coming in. There's a lot of variables that people don't understand. But we'll get through those hurdles as a league, as, of course, officiating crew and coaches.
But all around, I think it was unbelievable.
100%.
But I did want to say that call with the snap changed the whole complexion of our game. And, with them keep playing it on the Jumbotron, the players kept getting more nervous and more nervous about what happened. That was crystal clear,
Right.
and they gave him the touchdown.
Right.
And that changed the complexion for us at that point.
And you know what? To teach people that might not know with the game, that's an old tactic where your nose guard or your end will see the motion come and then time the motion up knowing that's when the snap is. Now, here's how I 100% know that we were in the right. There's only one way, right? The snap count was on 2. So if the snap count was on 2, because I'm telling the quarterback, hey, they're timing the motion up. Change it up. Go on 2, go on 3, whatever the case may be. And that play was on 2. So that count, you can see if you went back, he says Hut. His head, not to draw him, but he just says Hut. That second Hut didn't happen. And now he runs him over.
By the way, I talked to the center. The only reason he snapped it is because he said Hut again.
Correct.
And so as he got hit and was falling backwards, and he heard the second Hut, then he snapped it anyway.
Which he's supposed to do, because if the ball goes into the quarterback's hand, we got a free play. We could throw a touchdown pass, and that's what you coach. So now he's trying to get the ball up.
On the second Hut,
Correct.
and there it is, and
Correct.
he tries again.
And now
but
we're taught.
He was hit so much that he couldn't.
Right. So it's one of those things, it's freak things, but, it's got to get cleaned up all around.
Yeah, their nose guard was on the snap. Just
He was decent.
he was decent.
He was decent.
Yeah, he was
good.
decent.
He was a good player. Good
I got mad at him because he was decent.
You have to.
I was
Good
kind of like,
football
man,
players
this
on that
guy.
team.
Yeah,
So do
absolutely.
you want me to put you on the spot? Do you have a player of the game, or would you?
I mean,
There was a lot of good players.
listen, when I say player of the game, I have to go back to, again, the way the defense played. And I just think that Josh Jenkins, just some of those plays that he made, that would be my defensive player. Offensively, I mean, it was such a good collective unit. I mean, between Lonnie and what he did, obviously Rakeem Cato, not throwing interceptions. I don't have his exact numbers with me right now, but he played a heck of a football game for the time that he was in. The clock management was good. Go to special teams. I don't really want to pick anybody on our football team on that because we got some things to
When you
clean
get
up.
picked for a touchdown,
Right.
2, and all that. We don't talk about this a lot, while he's playing the clip, but at the end of the game, we almost had, which the last play of the game, like, good. walk us through the
Okay.
last play of the game,
So-
which I'll explain to some people was a penalty. If you don't move forward
Right.
on the last play to gain yards,
Right.
you stop the clock. But
Correct.
that's all you do.
Correct.
So go ahead.
So the time's running down. I realize they have no timeouts. I realize that we're going to work it down to 4th down. It's going to come down to one play, but it's a matter of where the clock is at that one play. So if you're under 4 seconds,
Which it was at 3.1.
correct, because I took a delay of game on purpose to get it down to 3. So now I take a delay of game. Now we have 4th down. So we have 4th down, and Rakeem, we spoke about it. So I told him, we're running all goes. And you're going to take your 3 to 5 step drop, and you're going to put the ball in the stands. So if you do that at 2 seconds, it's over.
Yeah, it's over.
He says, Coach, I know I can run all around, it doesn't matter, and I'm going to take a knee. And I just had the quick thing that usually helps players make a better decision. I said, but what about your stats?
Yeah.
He said, Coach, I don't care about stats, I want to win. Well, it's not, it's a matter of him not playing arena football before and understanding, you know, he was a heck of an outdoor quarterback. You know, they could maybe call intentional grounding or something in the outdoor game if it's not anywhere near it. But the game is so small, the field's so small, that if you put it up over the receiver and right at him, the clock's going to run down. He'll make a better decision next time, but it wasn't a poor decision because no matter what, he knew we were going to win.
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
But
he was told to throw it away, yes.
Okay. But the refs, you know, being that they're new and a couple of them not understanding, they were almost going to bring us back to run another play.
Correct.
Let the
So-
other team run a play.
If you saw what I quickly did is I brought the defense over, and I'm not the defensive coordinator, but the head coach. And I brought him over and I just said, listen guys, here's the situation. If we end up getting the raw end of this deal, the ball's gonna go back and we can figure out, if we see it, where he took a knee. And it shouldn't. The game
Yeah.
should be over.
Yeah,
There's no
which
time.
it was.
But
It was.
if they make a mistake right now, the only way that anything happens is if they get a 6-point touchdown on the first play and the 2-point conversion. So you got to win 1 or 2 plays. You got to win 1 or 2. Hopefully the first.
But what's great was they got together and
They got it right.
realized
They got it right.
that you don't add time back on the clock.
Correct.
The game is over.
Correct.
You're only allowed to stop the clock.
Correct.
And the
Correct.
game is over.
Correct.
So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You got a question for him?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier, but fans want to know, how's Darius Tolbert? He was injured on the game, and you saw him today, I'm
Yeah.
sure, you know, so.
He's doing all right. Darius is okay. Got to make a little bit of strides with, you know, he had the big cramp and all that stuff in the game. And obviously, if you're a big man running down and kick off and this and that, things can get affected. So he'll be doing okay. He's day to day right now. But Darius will pull through. He's a warrior. He's a guy that wants to be out there. So I wish him, and I think he's going to have a really quick recovery.
Yeah. Now, what I said, I know he'll be playing at our first home game, without a doubt. I said, he's up. So it depends what happens this week.
Yeah, I mean, this is why you have a lot of guys, you're going to make subs. Obviously, you're always trying to upgrade anyway, guys will be brought in. But no, Darius, he's a big part of the football team. He's a warrior. He's not a big baby, like his nickname.
Yeah, I know, right?
But no, he's a warrior, so we have to have him back out there.
That's called passion.
Absolutely.
Big baby,
Yes.
that's called passion.
Right.
So we're going to be, our next game, we're going to be playing the Cobras, right?
Yeah, we play
Carolina
Carolina.
Cobras, who just beat the reigning champions, 59-51.
Yeah.
So, anything you could tell us about the game?
I can tell you that Coach Rez up there, I have a lot of respect for his program and what he does with that football team. They always seem to have a lot of fight, a lot of energy. That's obviously a dictation of what he does as a football coach. They'll be disciplined. They're going to play well. They always play well in the Snake Pit anyway. I mean, look what they just did, obviously, in their last game. There's also many players that were on this football team that we know.
Yeah.
Some great guys I got to coach last year between, DJ Myers and, of course, Donovan Raspberry is up there.
Yeah, he is
And then
up
I've
there, yeah.
also got, Chris Page who's playing on defense. So very good football team, very well coached, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
Awesome. You got anything else? John, you want to show
Nothing
the
else.
end of? You want to show the last highlight film that we got there? The end of the show. We're going to do it at the end of the show.
Then we want
And
to tell
if
them
you
again
want
about.
what do you got?
We want to tell them again about season
Go ahead.
tickets.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Like I was saying earlier, beginning of the show, season ticket holders, if you have not got your season tickets yet, don't worry. They're going to start coming out via text tomorrow. I think tomorrow after 10 o'clock, I believe Casey was telling me. And also, single game season tickets are going to be available starting tomorrow after 10 o'clock. Season tickets are going to go out first. That's just the way it is. But then single game tickets will be on sale. You can call 407-776-4718. Now I'm going to sound like a telemarketer. That's 407-776-4718.
It's good to see that lower bowl filling up. I would say get on those quick. I know I have several friends and people that were, thinking they were going to get in the front rows and things like that. They got their tickets, but hey, let's fill it up. I appreciate all the fans out there. You guys are our ninth man. You are our ninth man. The jungle is nothing without you. The Predators live in the jungle, and let's fill the packed house.
And it's going to be military now.
There's
Absolutely
not a
military.
bad seat in the house. There's just not a bad seat in the house. I don't care. You don't have to be front row. You could be in the 8th row or the 10th row. It's amazing. You're right there in your face football. It's great.
Military appreciation, Saturday, May 7th at home. We got a lot of things that are going to be happening during the game. We're going to have cystic fibrosis there, foundation walking around to get donations. We're gonna present a check to autism there. I think aren't we gonna have some professional wrestler out there? Yeah. What? Matt Morgan. Yep.
Yeah, he's a former wrestler.
Yeah,
Right?
he's
Politician.
Yep, he's gonna be out there. We've got a lot going on, and we got a great football game that we're gonna show you.
100%.
I had a couple texts come in here said, "Great job, coach," from a few different people. And again, from me too, great job, coaching. Great game. Came away with a W. That's the main thing. Me personally, I'd love to see it be, a blowout, but that's just me. Being a longtime Predator fan, you always like to see your team just get out there and kick ass.
Well,
And we did at the end.
And that's the
that
thing with this
halftime.
game.
That halftime, think of a score at halftime.
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm saying,
One or two
because they were a good
nights,
team.
To tell you the truth, it could be. Oh.
Well, think about this. You have the pick six called back in the first half.
Right.
You've got whether he caught it or not.
Over the wall.
Just say you get
Yeah.
one of those.
Yeah.
You're looking at 44-6 halftime. One of them.
Yeah, but
Or
I'm
50.
talking about then the play where we're going into score.
Correct.
When
Correct.
nobody talks about that. We were actually going into score
And doing
Right.
when
the
they
job.
ran all the way.
And this is the thing that people don't understand about arena football. You can be so close to a blowout, or you can be
And you
so
can-
close the other way around to getting blown out.
It'll turn right
And
around.
you just have to keep playing every single play. You have to worry about the next play because it's the only one that matters. That's just what happens.
Awesome. So I think we're good. I think
Yeah.
we talked about it. We talked about our upcoming game.
Next show is
The next show will be next Monday. As of officially now, we're having it here at the Ace, and if
Okay.
we can, or we change it with locations, we'll let you know. But I want to thank Cycle Fever TV for this. The production is all Cycle Fever TV.
I want to thank all the fans one more time, please.
Yep.
Just keep them coming. Love the messages that we're getting on, our social medias and things like that. But it's all about you guys. Come out and support us. Hopefully, when we get to that first home game, we're in a good position to make a run. That's where we want to be. But we're worried about the next one right now. That's the most important one. So, thank you once again.
You want to say anything, Pat, before we go?
shout out to Ace Cafe for hosting us here tonight, being sponsors.
Ace Cafe,
Always do a great job.
Yep.
IT John, and Cycle Fever TV for doing a fantastic production. Always. I really appreciate it. You make me look good, which is very hard to do.
All right, so I want to say goodbye, and before you go to the clips, one of my sign-offs is, let's go!
Go Preds.
So let's check out the
Love it.